And now, it's time for the Josh and John Show.
Welcome to the Josh and John Show, everybody.
Hello, I'm John. That's Jon.
That's Jon, and I'm Josh. Sports, politics, and everything else. Center left, center right. For all our listeners, you guys know the drill. So for this session, what I wanted to talk about, and of course John will chime in as he always does, and I'm appreciative of, is about kind of the state of U.S. men's soccer. So like the national team, but soccer overall, United States. So there's a lot of things going on all the time. Clearly, if you don't know, soccer is the number one sport. Now, John, do you watch much soccer?
Well, the number one sport, not in America.
No, you're right, not in America. In the world overall.
Right.
But what's your fandom of soccer? Do you have any? Do you watch the World Cup?
Well, when America is, I'm that guy who likes to see the U.S. I should say instead of America, but I'm the guy who likes to see the U.S. beat all the teams that take soccer seriously.
Yes.
Like people will say, "Hey, do you know anything about what the USA is doing in soccer?" And I'll say no, but I just want them to beat Mexico, or Spain.
Right.
And I'll watch it.
Wouldn't? Yeah, they're your team. Whether you
right.
keep up with them or not, and you want them to win. No, that's a fair assessment.
Right.
But as the major sports fans we are, clearly the United States is a sporting nation. We love our sports and we are good at them. Take the Olympics.
Right.
We dominate the Olympics. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
In, be it swimming, running, skiing.
Gymnastics.
Yeah, gymnastics. Like, we're either competitive or the best at that.
Right.
But we're competitive at best in soccer.
Right.
And so, I think the easy answer is always, well, our best athletes go play other sports.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of always at a, like, I'm trying to figure out why we still haven't kind of gotten over the hump.
I think I can answer that.
Go ahead. Why do you think we still haven't achieved?
Because if you had a USA men's soccer team that had LeBron James,
the dream team.
Yeah, like
scenario.
say LeBron grew up playing soccer instead of basketball. Say some of these great athletes, Dwight Howard at goalie.
Right.
You could go on Chris Paul, all these, in football, imagine Colin Kaepernick as a forward. Mm-hmm. If all these stars in the NBA and NFL and MLB, if they grew up playing soccer, it would be just like basketball. All the other countries wouldn't be able to beat us.
And I think that's and I love that dream team squad that you're mentioning.
Right,
like
right.
I've thought about those things before too. A country our size, we have 310 million people.
Right.
You know
roughly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I still think that we would have enough athletes to go around to make a killer soccer team.
Yeah, I think we should too. It disappoints me every time we lose to, Brazil or Mexico or Spain. It's like, why don't we just throw some money at that area?
Because we do have really good soccer players. Our main striker, Jozy Altidore, just signed with Sunderland, which is a English Premier League team. Mm-hmm. And he had the largest transfer fee ever for an American player. He's coming from a Dutch league where he scored tons of goals. He scored like 38 goals in like 60-some-odd games, which is an incredible ratio.
Even I know that.
And he's hot right now for the men's national team. He scored against Germany. He scored in almost each of the games for the World Cup qualifiers coming up. Mm-hmm. We also have, our dear old leader, Landon Donavan, who's still a good soccer player. And then we have Clint Dempsey and Michael Bradley. So Bradley plays in Italy. He's awesome. They call him General Bradley. He plays for Roma. And that's a big team for Serie A, which is the number one league there.
Okay.
And then you have Clint Dempsey, who plays for Tottenham in the EPL. So we do have some really great players.
Right.
And the national team has been playing well of late. and we have this new European coach. And I think that's something that's been a huge boon for us, is that we have someone from Europe who's coaching the team, telling them kind of the European ways. And he was a superstar back in his day. Klinsmann is his last name.
Okay.
But the tournament, one of the tournaments going on right now is the U20 World Cup. So the under 20 World Cup, essentially,
sure.
Right? And it works just like the normal World Cup, where you have a group stage and then a knockout stage.
And qualifying.
Right.
And that kind of thing. Okay.
We got destroyed. We were annihilated.
Right.
And, I have so much hope going for the U.S. team these days, because we are getting better. We seemingly find these great pieces, and we're finally putting them in the right way. But our youth system is trash.
Sure.
It's awful.
Well,
and I don't think it's a mystery to figure out how to produce better athletes in certain sports in the United States. Because we're good at that. Yeah. For a time in skiing, for example, we weren't the best. Uh-huh. But lately, we've become definitely the biggest competitor for nations like Austria and such like that.
Right.
So we have the capacity. Mm-hmm. How do we make better soccer players?
To me, it's I don't watch a full soccer game. I can sit down and watch a whole day of baseball. Mm-hmm. I do in the winter and fall, whatever. I do watch a whole day of football, not just my team but other teams. Mm-hmm. And I think Americans, I think we're not.
No, you really answered my question.
But,
there really is a lack of passion.
But to answer it even more, you got to get rid of the offsides rule. And I know that's
good luck
crazy.
With that.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. That's that's like a soccer fan saying, "Well, you need to make the football field only 80 yards."
Right.
It'll never happen and whatnot. But that's kind of more of the point, is that I don't want to see a ball get kicked around over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, so you feel it's not exciting enough to really garner a huge
not just me. I think the United States feels that way. I mean,
I totally agree with you.
If the Yankees aren't doing good, you're going to hear about it every single day.
Right.
If the U.S. soccer loses to again, Mexico or whatever, it's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, you flip to the next page.
Yeah, it's like, of course.
Yeah, right.
Why wouldn't we?
It's almost expected.
Yeah, and so it's almost like my dream of U.S. soccer is just to beat one of these teams, just so it's like kind of like Lithuania, who finally beat the U.S. men's basketball.
Basketball, right.
And I think that, that's kind of period, point blank. I get into soccer. People say, "Hey, the game's on." Mm-hmm. When I'm there. I'll watch it. It's exciting. Obviously, I like the penalty kicks and stuff a little bit more. But to me, I just again, it's my opinion. I don't jump out of bed to watch U.S. soccer, and I feel like that has something to do with why they.
But even soccer in general, not just U.S. soccer. Right?
Oh yeah, soccer. Well, I mean, I would kind of much rather watch, Manchester United.
Gotcha.
Or right. Brazil or Spain. I can get into that a little, a lot more, but, yeah, definitely soccer in general.
Well, that's an interesting point, because those are higher quality.
Hey, I'm wearing soccer shoes right now.
Yeah, you are. You are wearing some nice Pumas.
Yeah, they're nice.
I know, and that's what's amazing, is that soccer really is everywhere around us.
Yeah.
From the shoes and on TV and everything, but still, it hasn't quite caught fire still in the United States. I think it's growing in interest,
and I hope it does. I mean, I would love to see it. I would love. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm not bashing on soccer.
No,
it's kind of like hockey. I would love to see it prosper here in the United States. I'd love to see it.
And I think it's just not ingrained in the culture. Like, the biggest reason I'm into soccer is because my mother's Argentine.
Oh,
so
right.
I grew up with names like Maradona, and of course I follow Messi, who is just
awesome.
He's already a legend. He's a living legend.
Yeah.
And I think, for my opinion on what U.S. soccer lacks to really bring in the fandom, the passion, is that superstar. Like we
Right.
don't. United States has never produced
Exactly.
a superstar who just goes in for that slam
'cause
dunk
they're-
and just is crushing the biggest leagues and gives us a fighting chance.
Because they're playing basketball, Josh.
or just playing something else.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think there's. It's important that we have these youth academies and everything, and we try to figure out how to make these academies better.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a Tiger Woods thing. A lot of kids didn't care about golf
Right.
until Tiger Woods
Yeah.
had this young, fresh image
Yeah.
and
Okay, I
just
see where you're going. Right.
dominated
Yeah.
the sport. And so I think where we could finally get over the hump, obviously it's easy to say. It's like, oh yeah, we have this great player.
Right.
But that really is, to me, the answer. We need a great player.
Maybe the government should get involved and raise
a lot of
raise a
countries-
star.
Hey, a lot of countries do that.
I know that's what I mean.
What's
That's
crazy.
But that's how serious they take it, and it's
Right.
hard to compete with. It's like, oh, you play soccer, that's cool, compared to you will play soccer.
So, yeah,
Every
definitely.
single day in and day out. But
So yeah, I think that's my opinion on what the state of U.S. soccer is, especially with like the men's national team. I'm surprised the MLS is still around. That's a whole nother conversation,
Sure.
I think. But it is growing. It is getting more popular.
and good luck to it.
No,
I wish the
I'm
best
a
for US
huge
soccer.
supporter of U.S. soccer, and I certainly hope we can win a World Cup someday. But
Go US.
yeah, go USA. So
And I will be watching it.
I hope so.
If we
Yeah,
do.
right now, the Gold Cup's going on. So that's a tournament that U.S. men's soccer is playing.
All right.
But there's a lot of exciting players. Like I said, Altidore, this other guy, Stuart Holden. Those are players you got to look out for. But, man, we need that LeBron.
Yeah.
We need
Yes,
that
we
LeBron.
do.
So I think that's all I can say right now about the state of soccer. And
Sure.
hope everyone enjoyed tonight's episode. We certainly appreciate you listening in. Please
Absolutely.
add us. Please like us on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. Share, comment, get back to us. We'd love to hear back from all our listeners. We've had some
At
some
Josh
back
and
and
John
forth.
Show on
Yep.
Twitter.
We
Yep.
had some back and forth with some fans, and we love that stuff. So
Yeah.
keep it up.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
A interruption from the control room. I want you guys to look back at Pele, back in the 70s. He was the LeBron James of soccer.
Yeah, but he's not a U.S. player.
He's not
so-
American.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
we're good. We finished.
All right, later.
So cut his mic, controller.
Yeah. Cut the producer's mic.
He cut it.